Have you ever had any weird sleepover stories? Okay, in grade 3, one of my friend Danny asked me, hey, you wanna come to my place on the weekends for a sleepover? I kind of wanted to go, but see, my mom was super strict. My other friend Andrew says, I'm going too, so you gotta come. Bros before hoes. Like what? That doesn't even make any sense. Oh, how I hate peer pressure. Well, now I guess I gotta come. So that night at home, I prepare a list of reasons on why I should be allowed to attend a sleepover, because I had to make sure everything was right. As I start listing the points, my mom looks at me and says,
sure thing! It's about time you got out of this house for a change.
So Saturday Arvo, my mom drives me to Danny's house. His place was easy to find because it was the only yellow-colored brick house on the street. Danny and Andrew greet me, and I special wave back to my mom, which is code word for, please don't say anything that'll embarrass me in front of my friends. You can go now. She didn't get the message.
Okay, honey, don't forget to brush your teeth, shower, and change your undies before bedtime. Okay, bye.
As we walk inside Danny's house, I was met with a horrible smell in the room. Oh man, what's that smell? I smelled that too when I first came in, but eventually I just got used to it. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't realize noses could do that. The whole place was a mess. You see, Danny's parents owned a grocery shop, so they were always busy working long hours. They had no time to keep the house clean. They were not home. We had the whole place to ourselves. We played with Danny's cute little dog Fluffy. Woof! Since Danny's parents were never home, they bought Fluffy so that he could keep the house safe and the bad guys away. He was tiny at the time, but he would grow up to become quite the beast. Never go around smelling Fluffy though, because he hardly ever washed. But we loved him all the same. We ran around the house singing like pop stars. We were pretty damn good. We sat on the bed and played video games. Sometimes we even sat this close. What a rebel, right? We drank as many Coke cans as we wanted. Sometimes Pepsi cans even. Clearly, Danny's parents were not choosy with their choice of beverage, and we threw away the cans on the ground when we finished like nobody's business. Then suddenly, Danny's older sister pops out the door.
Hi, Danny's friends.
Danny, I didn't know your sister was in the house. Danny, I didn't know you had a sister. She's called Hannah, by the way. Apparently, she was in her room the whole time. Oh no, that means she must have heard our terrible singing.
I'm sexy and I know it.
She was wondering if we were hungry. Danny whispers to us, she wants to cook, but she's not very good. If you don't want to try her cooking, we can wait for my parents to come back at maybe 10 p.m. 10 p.m? But I'm already hungry. 10 p.m? But that's my normal bedtime. We're both very hungry.
Then let's go to the kitchen.
What a nice older sister, I thought. She was only 2 years older than us and already a cook, whereas I could barely use a fork. So we walk in the kitchen. I notice a whole pile of dirty bowls, plates, and utensils on top of the kitchen sink, with flies buzzing around everywhere. And remember that smell I was talking about earlier? Well, he had come back again, this time with a vengeance. Danny's parents don't wash dishes after eating. If you want to use a bowl, then you have to go wash it first. We all sat down at the kitchen table, but the residue oil on the seats was sticking to my butt, making me quite uncomfortable. And then Hannah hands us the forks and spoons. Are these washed? Yep, no they weren't. It was sticking to my fingers. I felt like Spider-Man. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Hannah hands us her handmade menu with all these pretty little handwriting on it. There were like 10 types of food to choose from. Both Danny and Andrew went with the fish fingers, but I chose the roast beef. We ordered our food and Hannah went to cook.
A few inches later,
Hannah comes back with a plate of fish fingers. I saw that she had just heated them up in the microwave actually, and she also hands me the plate of roast beef. Ah, yes! Fine dining, I thought. I lift the lid up with anticipation. It looked like squished up semi-raw minced meat. It smelled raw as well. Danny and Andrew begin munching on their fish fingers, and Hannah's looking at me waiting for me to eat. So reluctantly, I take a spoonful. It tasted just like raw vomit. I had to gulp it down though, because Hannah was still watching me. When she leaves, my body starts shaking and I puke out onto the plate what I had just swallowed. Yep, it was that bad. The crazy thing was, the puke and the meat looked exactly the same. You could not tell the difference. So I look around and say, okay, I'm done. So filling. Danny didn't buy my bluff. Come on, man. At least eat a bit more, otherwise Hannah will be disappointed. Apparently, he didn't see me puke. So out of of guilt, I ate a little bit more from the side that I didn't puke in, and then puked out some more. Oh no, did I eat the right bits? Which side did I puke in again? I'm just saying, if you've never tasted your own puke before, then you've never lived. Hey, you sure your sister knows how to cook? Well, didn't I tell you that she isn't very good? Oh, I think that's an understatement. I might have to go to a hospital after this. Okay, so basically, it was like this. Hannah was really into pretend play or something. We were like a little human guinea pigs. We were there to taste test her cooking. Don't taste testers usually get paid? So where's my money, huh? At least pay for my hospital bills or something. On the positive side though, I was no longer hungry because I had completely lost my appetite. When it was getting late at night, we were all very hungry again. You look hungry. Would you like some more of Hannah's cooking? I can call her over. No, I'm fine. Finally, around 10 p.m., Danny's parents come back home. They were carrying bags and bags full of McDonald's. We were so happy. We piled up the burgers on our table and ate as if we hadn't eaten for weeks. I must have had 4 burgers, plus fries and drinks. A personal best, might I add. But since I had pooped out a lot earlier, I really had lots of freed up space in my stomach. I was actually quite envious that Danny's parents would buy McDonald's for him all the time. Because whenever I asked my mom for McDonald's, she would always make these homemade burgers instead. She didn't like us eating out. She said her burgers tasted just like McDonald's. It really didn't. She just wanted to save some money. I don't blame her anymore though. I guess her burgers were technically healthier, even though I really just wanted McDonald's for the Happy Meal toys, which I never got. Spider-Man. Alright, I guess my mom's cooking was pretty good. She made me say it in this video. Although, not as good as Danny's sister's cooking. Sorry Danny's sister if you're watching this video, but me roasting you in this video doesn't even come close to how badly you roasted that roast beef.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Don't try making roast beef at home, kids. Things can go horribly wrong.